Captain Midnight.
This video is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club, and it contains spoilers for Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park is a pretty simple movie with an even simpler message. Man shouldn't try to play God. And it's not subtle about it either. I mean, there's a character whose entire role basically exists to vocalize this theme. The story itself is pretty simple too, and is mostly there to set up what Spielberg is actually interested in, evoking both wonder and suspense. And he obviously succeeded, creating some iconic suspenseful scenes and even sparking a huge wave of interest in dinosaurs and paleontology. And maybe the story should have ended there, and we could all look back with fondness at a great blockbuster with a highly efficient and well-paced script and some great direction. But of course we couldn't do that. So here we are, a few sequels and a soft reboot later with the latest Jurassic film, and things aren't so simple anymore.
We thought we could combine different dinosaurs' DNA, but it all went horribly wrong!
Before I really dig into my issues with Fallen Kingdom, I want to highlight the one part of it I really liked. The direction from the guy behind the orphanage, J.A. Bayona, is every bit as tense and suspenseful as this franchise deserves. There's some really striking images in this movie too, like the scene where the island disappears under a cloud of volcano smoke. I think he really did his best with this material, and I hope there's better projects for him in the future. But aside from that, yeah, this thing is rough. The biggest issue, for me at least, is just how contrived the whole thing feels. The once simple and elegant setup of the first Jurassic Park is now way in the rearview mirror. This fictional universe is getting extremely convoluted, and now includes a second park, John Hammond having a secret business partner he was apparently best buddies with, but who never once came up in the first 4 films. Oh, and who also loves to carry around a cane with a mosquito in it. And also, kid clones? Jurassic World director Kevin Trevorrow has claimed that the second and third films are still considered canon, like they happened in the continuity of Jurassic World, but if you tried to describe the events of these films chronologically to someone, it wouldn't make much sense. Fallen Kingdom opens with the US in the midst of a huge debate over whether we should allow all the dinosaurs to go extinct or not, and the fact that, you know, a giant T-Rex rampaged through the streets of San Diego in the late 90s and a lot of people died just doesn't come up. I feel like someone would mention that, you know, like once or twice at least. You can call that a nitpick, and, you know, maybe it is, but honestly I'd be willing to totally ignore continuity issues like that if Fallen Kingdom had anything interesting to say, like the first film did. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of Jurassic World, but at least it was attempting to do some clever commentary on reboot culture in the film industry, with the new park's need to create an even bigger and more deadly dinosaur now that people are tired of T-Rexes being the park's ultimate downfall. Fallen Kingdom just doesn't have anything like that.
It's the Jurassic Park Command Compound, with an electronic computer that says over 100 commands.
Let me back up and talk about the characters. One of the major hurdles in turning Jurassic Park into a massive franchise is that unlike, say, Indiana Jones, 007, or Iron Man, it doesn't really have an incredibly memorable character at its core. Don't get me wrong, the cast of the first movie is great, but they're all there to serve the Dinosaur Island concept, not to really exist as super interesting characters on their own. Ian Malcolm, the film's breakout character that everyone loved, works best in a supporting role and wasn't nearly as interesting when he was made the lead of Lost World. So the Jurassic movies don't really have a human character that audiences absolutely want to see again. Sure, Jeff Goldblum shows back up in what basically amounts to a cameo role, but mostly these movies have to count on nothing but a common list of ingredients. If you have T-Rexes, raptors, evil corporations, a few vests, and a little kid or two, you've basically got everything you need for one of these movies. Jurassic World tried to change this. They got 2 of the most popular and well-liked actors around today, and then kind of totally wasted them. Chris Pratt's character Owen is Pratt at his least interesting. He's not really funny in these movies, he's more like funny adjacent. The screenwriters seem to think that Chris Pratt smirking is a good substitute for, you know, an actual joke. I know people complain about Star-Lord's role in Infinity War, but comparing his performance there to this movie is night and own day. He's not doing any goofy improv here, which, you know, is fine I guess, not every movie calls for that. But more importantly, unlike Peter Quill's very emotionally charged moments in Avengers, he isn't asked to do absolutely anything that stretches him as an actor here. This script asks almost nothing of him, and makes Owen the most boring Chris Pratt character I can think of. You could easily switch him out with Liam Hemsworth or some other square-jawed Hollywood guy, and almost nothing would change, going to show just how shallow this character is. Claire is also not much of a character. I like Bryce Dallas Howard, but she's not given much to work with here. Her being the leading advocate of saving dinosaurs from going extinct seems a little strange after she, you know, just saw her assistant being brutally murdered by them a few years ago, but I was willing to go with it. Sadly though, they didn't use that in an interesting way at all. Instead, she just gets to repeat this boring romance subplot from the last movie, and that's basically it. Owen and Claire are barely characters. They're plot devices, running through the motions, and the filmmakers are hoping that the charisma of these actors is enough to get the audience on board with that.
Welcome to Jurassic Park, the handheld game, where only the quick survive. Moving at lightning.
Another weird thing about Jurassic World and now Fallen Kingdom is their fixation on good and bad dinosaurs. In the first three, dinosaurs weren't heroes or villains. They were just, you know, animals. The ones that ate plants you could go up and pet, and the ones that didn't, you know, mostly tried to eat you. Sure, I guess the raptors were kind of extra creepy, but it was mostly understood that these dinosaurs were just going on instinct. But with the introduction of the genetically modified dinos in the World series, we've weirdly moved beyond that. Now we have Blue, our good guy raptor with a distinct blue stripe, and the Indoraptor with scary red eyes and a gold stripe, who sneaks into children's rooms like Freddy Krueger. And while these movies have never exactly been grounded in realism, now they almost feel like cartoons, with an easily discernible good dinosaur and bad dinosaur, who of course get the inevitable fight to the death. I'm sure this works wonders for toy sales, but in terms of storytelling, I think it really hurts the series. One thing that the first movie did so well was convey the wonder of these prehistoric giants. Fallen Kingdom ditches that sense of wonder in favor of some cheap thrills, and I don't think it's a great trade-off. Because really, where do they go from here? Like, is the next one just gonna feature a giant evil talking raptor? Oh, and speaking of bad ideas, let's talk about that clone reveal. This one is pretty strange. So Maisie, the granddaughter of Benjamin Lockwood, the previously unmentioned partner of John Hammond in the creation of Jurassic Park, turns out to be the clone of his daughter who died in a car accident. This reveal is pretty easy to guess, and it's hinted at throughout the movie, and it adds up to, like, almost nothing. It's such a bizarre subplot. For one thing, it doesn't really change anything. When Owen and Claire are protecting Maisie from the mustache-twirling villain, he yells that they don't even know what she is, like they're gonna be horrified or something. But when they find out, it's not like they really care. To them, she's a scared kid trapped in a mansion with a bunch of dinosaurs and guys with guns. So why would they care that she's also the clone of a woman they never knew and have no connection to? So really, the only way it affects the characters or story is Maisie's choice to free the dinosaurs at the end. This is a big move, for sure, but did they really need a goofy cloning subplot to get there? There has to be a better and less literal way to get the character to identify with the dinosaurs so much that she wants to free them. I mean, Claire was really close to that point herself, but the filmmakers decided to go with this shocking reveal that this character we've never met is a clone of another character we've also never met. It's just weird, and it makes me think that some of this storyline must have been left on the cutting room floor.
The first to get your copy of Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park on video cassette.
So let's talk about the ending. We end with our heroes having maybe doomed humanity, and Ian Malcolm warning us about the danger of such sudden, unexpected change. I actually really liked this. Like, seriously, that shot of the surfer seeing the giant dinosaur in the water was really something. And the possibilities it sets up are really interesting to think about. Maybe the series will go in a post-dinosaur apocalypse direction or something, who knows? The frustrating thing though is that whatever that story is, it sounds more interesting than the one featured in this actual movie. Because other than a few good set pieces, Fallen Kingdom doesn't really bring anything new or interesting to the table. It doesn't deepen the paper-thin characters of Jurassic World. It doesn't really even deliver on the promise of revisiting Ian Malcolm, since he's barely in it. So in the end, is Fallen Kingdom a terrible experience? Not really. It flies by fast and has some very well directed suspense sequences, but it is a completely unimpressive one. Fallen Kingdom is a movie that promises the franchise will take some big risks in the future, but doesn't seem to want to take any now. It follows the Jurassic formula and it makes sure to hit all the expected story beats, but not much more. And the one big leap it takes, the inclusion of human cloning, adds almost nothing to the movie beyond some mild confusion. It's a perfectly serviceable movie, but I'll always be a little sad that the simple wonder and excitement of Spielberg's original has been so completely lost. So Fallen Kingdom paints a pretty grim portrait of the future. Dinosaurs loose in the ocean, raptors rampaging through the streets. So, that's not great. But, at least the future is looking really bright in one area, personal grooming. We all have our morning routines. I get up, take a shower, brush my teeth, try to make sure my hair looks alright, all that good stuff. But what you maybe didn't know is that Dollar Shave Club can send you everything you need for that. They have a ton of personal grooming products, toothpaste, body wash, hairstyling products, all the stuff you need to look, feel, and smell your best. Seriously, just a few weeks ago I had no idea that Dollar Shave Club even had all this stuff. It's pretty great getting them sent straight to my house. Their grooming products are some of the best I've ever used, and at a price point that's tough to beat. I especially loved the Calming Body Cleanser. It's really high quality and a big step up from what I was used to using before. Dollar Shave Club is basically giving away their Daily Essential Starter Set to new members for only $5. This starter set features 3 trial-sized versions of their most popular products that help you stay fresh and clean along with their executive razor. In your first box, you'll receive their shave butter, body wash, and One White Charlie's butt wipes. You'll also receive their executive razor, which includes their premium weighty handle and a full cassette of cartridges. After the first box, replacement cartridges are sent for only a few bucks a month. If you're interested, this $5 offer is available at dollarshaveclub.com/midnight. That's dollarshaveclub.com/midnight. Be sure to check the video description and pinned comment for that link. Hey guys, that is it for me this week. Be sure to like and subscribe. Oh, and also I have a new Patreon exclusive video coming out in the next couple days about Rick and Morty. So be sure to head over to Patreon and subscribe, and you can get the big back catalog of Patreon videos. And I will see you next week.